Which country has the most natural lakes in the world? Time's up. Canada. What is the only metal that is liquid at room temperature? Time's up. Mercury. The Magna Carta was signed in which year? Time's up. 1215. Which artist cut off his own ear in 1888? Time's up. Vincent van Gogh. How many pairs of chromosomes does a human cell normally have? Time's up. 23 pairs. What is the deepest lake in the world? Time's up. Lake Baikal. Which empire was the largest in history by land area? Time's up. British Empire. A day on Venus is longer than a year on Venus. True or false? Time's up. True. What percentage of the human brain is water? Time's up. About 73%. How many strings does a standard violin have? Time's up. 4 strings. Which country has the most active volcanoes? Time's up. Indonesia. What is the hardest natural substance on Earth? Time's up. Diamond. Who was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize? Time's up. Marie Curie. How many eyes does a bee have? Time's up. 5 eyes. What is the name of the galaxy closest to the Milky Way? Time's up. Andromeda Galaxy. In which country was paper first invented? Time's up. China. The Colosseum in Rome was primarily used for what? Time's up. Gladiatorial contests. At what temperature does water boil at the top of Mount Everest? Time's up. 70 degrees Celsius. What is the smallest ocean in the world? Time's up. Arctic Ocean. In what year did humans first land on the moon? Time's up. 1969. How long can a blue whale hold its breath? Time's up. Up to 90 minutes. What is the world's oldest continuously inhabited city? Time's up. Jericho. What is the unit of electric current? Time's up. Ampere. Who wrote the epic poem The Odyssey? Time's up. Homer. What is the tallest type of grass in the world? Time's up. Bamboo.